I'm Ben Barnard, this is Samantha Powell, and we're here to take you by the hand and guide you through a whole host of interesting and insightful conversations with our amazing guests. And speaking of which, let's get started with our friends here at Matrox Video. Guys, how are you doing?
Good, yourself?
Yeah, doing really well. Great to have you back again. How's the day one been for you?
Thank you, great so far. Show's getting busier by the hour, getting to meet already some important customers, so can't complain.
Excellent. Sam, how the feet?
Sore.
Yeah?
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into it straight away. I'd love to give our viewers an insight into the business at Matrox Video just by talking about how important the ProAV IT segment is to you guys. So can you give us an insight?
Sure, absolutely. So Matrox as a company, we focus on both the broadcast market, mostly working with broadcast manufacturers that sell equipment into the broadcast market, but we also have an important segment which is our ProAV segment, where we're both selling to manufacturers and directly to the channel some of our own solutions or appliances. And right now it represents over 50% of our revenue, so definitely very important. And being here at ISC is incredibly important because not only do we meet a lot of customers from Europe, but it's very international. We meet people from all over the world. And a lot of our customers are actually exhibiting here at the show, so very important for us.
Fantastic.
Absolutely, yes, and you can see the evolution of our industry at the show. And as our AV industry continues to evolve, there's been a strong push towards interoperability and seamless integration, and it seems like it's just more and more important. And we know that Matrox Video has always truly championed an open standards-based approach to AV over IP. So can you just tell us a little bit about why that is and what some key reasons are behind that?
Yeah, it's if you think about the number of things that you know about that support cables like HDMI or very useful interoperable technologies of that type, as we pursue media over IP, that's the thing that's been missing from very useful systems is the ability to use all of the different equipment that you want on that system. And so open standards is the mechanism where we could try to get all of that utility out of a IP-based media system. We're working very hard on trying to get all of the advantages of what we could do before IP with traditional AV systems, while harnessing the benefits of being on IP bigger distances, more flexibility with routing signals. So best of both worlds. That's the whole purpose of open standards.
Yeah. You know, a lot of our customers have told us they're tired of being locked into these walled gardens. That has been the case without standards. But we're breaking through that with really believing in open standards, and we're really promoting it big on our T-shirts here at the show.
Yeah, and flexibility, as you say, is the name of the game, especially when we have such things as the global pandemic. Who could have seen that coming? And when all the supply chain issues and stuff like that came around, that was the flexibility was what people really needed.
And now we're facing another problem with these tariffs, right? That's also going to cause people to start saying, oh my God, where else can I get my technology? So when something is open, customers have that ability to move. Of course, we'd like them always to stay with Matrox, and how we do that by continuing to innovate and providing our solutions that are very easy to use and flexible, so people obviously will try to always get Matrox-based solutions, but we don't want to worry about protocols and standards. We worry about making it easy for customers to use our product.
Yes.
Absolutely. And I know that some of the projects that Matrox Video have been involved with have come about primarily because of your flexibility and the openness of those things. So can you tell us a bit about some of those projects? I know there'll be some that you can't talk about probably, but can you tell us about some of them?
That was one of the problems, because I know last year we talked a little bit about how we got involved with Fuse Technology, and they produced the U2 show at the Sphere, and they used our technology, and they used IPMX and 2110 for that.
Yeah.
We're working on quite a few projects right now that are actively being installed, so we can't really get into it, but these are projects that are happening both in the Americas and Europe. Some of the big banks, Wall Street banks, are going this way, large government agencies, and insurance companies, universities. So we're seeing it across many different industries that are going down this route. And so unfortunately I can't name out the projects. I wish I could. I would have loved to, but all I can tell you is that we're seeing that across the globe and in different industries.
So and I suppose, the moral of the story is you're practicing what you preach, right? You've got these big projects because of flexibility, and that's what you're talking about, as you say, with everything that's on your stand and your branding. Good stuff.
Yes.
And Matrox has constantly been pioneers in advancing and showcasing potential IPMX and SMPTE 2110. So how much closer are you now to making that vision a true reality?
Well, that's exactly what Albert was referring to. Some of those projects are actually using those standards already. 2110 is implemented in a lot of broadcasters, it's implemented in a lot of live events. And IPMX ready products that have implemented all of the ratified protocols of IPMX have been used in higher education, in congressional buildings, in museums, in live events, in defense customers. And so these standards are at work in live installations, but they're also still growing. For example, there were just some new specifications added recently to the VSF TR10 that deal with KVM functionality, so USB support on IPMX. So while the standards are still growing and covering more bases, the parts that are ratified are already in use at customers.
But we already have some partners here at the show who are showing their IPMX 2110 products, like Barco, for example, is one of them, just to name one. But there are quite a few that are having products now to help feed the ecosystem.
And you are really, that is how Matrox Video is pushing the boundaries, right? You're coming out with products that really support these protocols. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah, that's like really, we are at the forefront. We are leading the pack, sort of, as you could say, where we're involved at the VSF, which is the organization that starts developing the standards, and we're also part of AIMS, which groups up all the manufacturers to make sure we keep building the ecosystem. So this has definitely been at the heart of what we're trying to do to really make this into a reality. Well, it is a reality now, but to keep expanding, because the standards, we keep adding things to the standard.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've had the pleasure of working with some of your colleagues in other regions, myself based in the UK, and yeah, open standards, open protocols, all that kind of stuff is what they talk about constantly. So it's good to know that that message is running through the whole organization, through all the regions and everything. I can really attest to that.
Absolutely. And Matrox Videos, you guys are quite innovative, and we know that innovation really happens when you've got your manufacturers and your developers working together and to build and expand on existing technologies. So how important is it to create products that allow developers to contribute to and drive the industry forward?
That's a very good question. I mean, as you know, right now we've been focusing mostly on endpoints, so working with camera manufacturers and displays, and we announced here at the show a partnership also with Panasonic, who's going to be reselling an SDM version of our Convert IP, so it's directly in the display, so even less, no unit hanging in the back of a display, it's directly part of the display. But what we're working on now is making also the processing available to be supporting this ecosystem. So we launched new 2110 and IPMX NIC cards so they can, and software, so people can put those in their systems and build other solutions. So not just worrying about the endpoints, but also now worrying about the processing part. That's the next development that is happening right now.
You've thought of everything.
We try.
We try.
Including things that don't support the standards. So
yeah.
Oh, yes.
we're the 1-2 strategy is support the standards to get as much of a useful experience on an IP media system as possible. But we recognize that not everyone could use all of that stuff right away. They already own equipment. So another major investment for Matrox is to create gateways and bridge technologies that make things that are not supporting the standards function on those standards-based networks.
Good, yeah, I mean, it's innovative. I think, sounds like if people want to find out more about Matrox Video, they can go to the Matrox Video stand, or they can go to various other stands around ISC and see the technology in action, right?
Well, we're in Hall 5 if people want to come and see us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Booth 500, I believe, is in Hall 5.
Excellent.
And yes, so as Sam was saying, we're not only showing gateways, so people can bring in, because people have already products and technologies, so they want to be able to feed the network, and we do that through our gateways. But we also launched an IP KVM that is based on 2110 and IPMX. Actually, it's the world's first NMOS aware IP KVM. So we're doing our part to help the ecosystem, but we know we can't do it all, and that's why we have different components that allow other developers to do the same.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, good stuff. Well, thank you so much indeed for coming and joining us again. It's 3 years on the bounce now that we've had you guys, so hopefully next year as well. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us, and we wish you all the best for the rest of the show.
Really
We're honored to be here. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good show.